The conversation ended hours ago, maybe days ago, maybe the other person has already forgotten it completely, and yet somehow you're still there, still replaying the same few sentences, the joke you shouldn't have made, the answer you should have given, the awkward pause that lasted a little too long, the moment you wish you could edit. It's strange, isn't it? A conversation can end in real life and continue for weeks inside your head. Why? Most people think they're doing this because they're overthinking, because they're anxious, because they can't let things go, but that's not actually what's happening. At least not entirely. Because your brain isn't replaying the conversation for entertainment. It's replaying it because it believes the conversation is unfinished, and unfinished things have a strange power over the human mind. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik Effect, a tendency for the brain to remember incomplete experiences better than completed ones. Your brain craves closure, and conversations rarely provide it. You never truly know what the other person was thinking, so your brain keeps the file open, just in case there's something important you missed. But here's where it gets strange. The conversation you're replaying isn't the conversation that actually happened. It's the version your brain created afterward. Every replay changes it. Every review adds something. And that version is usually much harsher than reality. Imagine watching the same movie 100 times, but every time you watch it, someone quietly edits a few frames. The original event slowly disappears. The interpretation remains. Fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of being misunderstood. The conversation becomes a mirror, and instead of seeing what happened, you start seeing what you fear. That's why two people can walk away from the exact same interaction with completely different memories. When you replay conversations, you're often trying to solve a problem that no longer exists, looking for the perfect response, the perfect reaction, the perfect version of yourself. The problem is that person doesn't exist. Human beings are messy. Conversations are messy. That's part of what makes them human. Because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. A flawed answer feels better than no answer. But because your brain never received proof that it was safe to let it go. What would happen if you stopped trying to solve it? The conversation ended a long time ago. The other person moved on. The world moved on. Only one thing remained. Your attempt to keep rewriting it. Maybe peace comes from accepting that the version of you who spoke in that moment did the best they could. The conversation can stay. Memories don't ask permission, but maybe it doesn't need another replay, and maybe it's finally time to let it end.